Well, today was an exciting day. Here on Thursday, April 20th, 2023, we got to see something that we just don't get to see. I always enjoyed watching space, rocket launches. I come from a rocket town. Lompoc, California is surrounded by Vandenberg Air Force Base. And today, we got to see the largest rocket ever deployed. Now, today's rocket launch of the Starship by SpaceX was really a test to see it clear the platform. And today's test was completely successful. So much data has been gathered today with the 33 engines that were ignited. Actually, a few of them weren't. We'll go into that in a few minutes. But as you can see here on the platform, they were loading the fuel into the first and second stages. At T-minus 40 seconds, there was a brief hold in order to pressurize those, which they can do on this particular rocket. On previous rockets at T-minus 40, they just go. Because they would worry that the fuel would warm up and go beyond its launch capabilities. But on this particular rocket, they do not have to do that. The rocket itself is 3 stages with the Starship up on top. The Starship can not only carry a full complement of people, but also a heavy payload. So this is an amazing accomplishment, what Elon Musk has done today. Now, the idea is for vertical landings. Now, you may ask, you need all that thrust to leave the Earth's atmosphere. You don't need it for other planets. So with other planets, you have a much lower gravity. So the boosters and engines on the Starship are enough for it to land and take off on other planets without the need of the multiple stages of thrust needed for the Earth. So this particular rocket ship can go ahead and not only take off here, but take off and land on other planets just fine. Hats off to Elon Musk for today's launch. It's really interesting about this program that Elon Musk has undergone. You can see here one of the very first space starships that he used, and they wanted to see takeoff and landing. And there's so much has gone into this program. As you can see here, this particular iteration of the Starship was no more than, a section and 3 fins on it. But it worked. And as it gets bigger and bigger, more challenges have come up. And sometimes the fins on the side actually pivot. They move in order to control it. And you can see here where this particular one well, it didn't do I mean, it actually did what he wanted it to do. But coming down, you can see how the fins move in order to control its ascent. This is what they call a belly flop, and they wanted to correct that, which they are able to do. Again, learning a lot from this particular one. But the landing didn't go exactly the way they planned. It's pretty spectacular to watch this, and there it goes, boom. Another iteration of the Starship. And you just don't see all this on the news. This particular iteration of the Starship, serial number 9, I think they call it, SN9. And again, they wanted to do a controlled belly flop and then pull it and bring it down and have a controlled landing. You can see how those wings, those fins on it are just flipping and flopping in order to control it. It's pretty amazing, actually. And it belly flops. All right, the next serial number. This one just continues. And again, they wanted to do a lot of control on it. And this one, will it or will it not land and not blow up? For successful landing of the Starship. So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So much has gone into this program. And tons. I mean, I can imagine the billions of dollars that were spent on it. But truly amazing. As we wait for this particular test to see if it will be a fully complemented rocket. And hold at 40 seconds. They've restarted it for pressurization of the main tanks. Here we've got the T minus 15, 13, 12, 11, 10. Everybody's very exciting. SpaceX teams are cheering at this moment because this is the point of no return. And we have ignition. Almost all the engines were able to ignite. Now, the test today was to see if indeed this ship and the entire rocket would clear the platform. We now have a completely successful test. The ship continued to climb into the atmosphere, gaining momentum. As it goes up into the atmosphere thins. It then gains more and more speed. As you can see, it's at 300 and 400 and climbing quickly, kilometers per hour. And you can see on the lower left the speed of the ship. Now, each one of those engines are gimbaled, so they're actually shifting positions right now, pivoting, in order to maintain its trajectory. What we're going to see in just a moment and some onboard cameras. So this is actually very, very exciting as it gets into the troposphere, the upper atmospheres. So we're up at 800 almost kilometers per hour. Those are the engines. Notice there that some of the engines did not ignite. So we see a few of them did not ignite. And this is critical to what's going to happen next. So all 33 engines are there for a reason. And they're all pitching and shifting in order to maintain trajectory. What we're going to see is this particular rocket go into a belly flop roll, and it's going to pivot and lose its stability. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It really is very amazing. There's an onboard camera where it's up in the upper atmosphere. See, now about now we should be seeing stage separation. Those are the engines on the Starship itself. They're electrically ignited. So, but now it's starting to pitch and roll. Now this is where the ship, you can see the ignition right there. The igniters start to light up, but notice to the right, the ship is losing its ability to maintain its trajectory. Now it's pitching and rolling on us, and it's starting to lose its ability to maintain its particular flight pattern. And they just can't get it to be corrected. Unable to correct it. At this point, they are going to you're going to see something you don't get to see too often. Here it goes, and you're going to see the largest explosion in the atmosphere that you've ever seen. Now, some of us remember Challenger, and that was devastating because people were on board the Challenger shuttle when it exploded on launch. But this is why Elon Musk is doing a lot of these tests. He's done 9 of these, and each one gives him more information in order to do this safely. There it goes. And the explosion happens, and the end of the flight happens. So that was a great accomplishment. They did what they wanted to do and get the information they wanted. In fact, it went farther than they expected. So there they are. That's the elation of the SpaceX team. That shows you that they are very happy. Even though it exploded in the upper atmosphere, they're very, very happy.